there, my name is Kathy and welcome to my channel, Crafty Kathy. If this is the first time that you've ever been to our channel, I'd like to say welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're returning, you guys know we love you from the bottom of our hearts. So, if this is the first time that you're visiting our channel, we hope that you'll consider subscribing and sticking around. We have a lot of love here in our little community on YouTube, and as you can probably tell, we have a lot of laughs, and I think that we have some good DIY inspiration along the way. We are also very fast growing here on my channel, and that's because of you guys, and we appreciate you so much. So, to show our appreciation, we decided to do a Christmas in July and do 10 DIYs instead of our usual 5. So I hope that you guys are going to like it. But before we go, we have to sing our silly little theme song, don't we, Sabby? Yes, we do. Are you ready? We got the love and laughs and DIYs. We got some love and laughs and DIYs. We got love and laughs and DIYs. We got love and laughs and DIYs. Yeah. Ooh, baby. Yeah. Mr. Executive Producer, you just get better every time you sing. So let's get serious and do some DIYs. Here goes number 1. I got this box at a thrift store, but it is from the Hobby Lobby. It's really well made. I think I paid like $1.50 for it. And this is going to be the first part of our first DIY. I got a piece of my Christmas cardstock that came in like one of those little packages, and I think it came from Hobby Lobby, and it's gorgeous, and I just absolutely love this black. What I'm going to do is just lay the cardstock down on top of that box, and I'm going to press with my hands all the way around so I can get the shape of the box, and it makes it very simple to cut out with the scissors. After I cut it out, I set my paper aside, and then I'm going to take my jet black color by Apple Barrel, and I'm going to give this box an all over black coat. I didn't really need to put it on the top because we're going to cover it up with the cardstock, but I figured why not, just in case any of that white's peeking through. Then I just dry it real good with my little craft dryer. While I've got the black on my paintbrush, I'm going to lay my little cardstock down, and I'm going to go all the way around the perimeter and just kind of distress it a little bit. And I like to put a little bit of paint on there and then just kind of smush it with my finger to distress things like this, because the black's not going to show up very well, but just that little bit of smudging just makes it look old-timey and just adorable. And then I'm just going to take some of my little Elmer's glue stick, and I'm going to stick that right on the top of the box. Then I use my little finger sander, and I go around every edge and get it really, really well on those edges. It also takes off that extra cardstock just in case there's a little bit that I did not cut exactly correct, and there's a good chance that I didn't do that. There's always a little hangover. I got this little reindeer in a pack of 4 at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to put him right in the center of the box. And I found this gorgeous burlap trim at the Dollar Tree, and I am going to go around the bottom, top, and 2 sides of this picture. I'm just going to put down a little bit of hot glue and slap her on there. I apologize for taking so long to get this video out, guys. I had technical difficulties, like my stuff was sending things to the cloud and I couldn't get it back to put it on my phone in order to put it on my editing app. So I literally lost 4 of the first 10 DIYs I did. It was a mess, y'all. So I got my little half beads, and we're going to color these my favorite way, where you put a couple in a little bowl. You literally put 1 drop of your paint and 1 little squirt of your water. And I think if you can, get one of these misting sprayers, the water sprayers that's just like a mist. It's so easy. I really enjoy that. And basically all you do is you just shake it around and the paint distributes perfectly on those beads, and then you dry it while it's still in the bowl, shaking it around, and it will dry perfectly. You'll never go back if you do this method. You will absolutely love it. So I just put one on each corner of my box, and I have this little, I don't know, it's just like a little doohickey that I bought off of Amazon, and I'll link them. It's just like small little sprigs, I guess you could say. It's not really an ornament, and we're going to put that on my box. But first I'm making just a little shoestring bow. I'm going to put the shoestring bow on the top of my little sprig. Let's call it a sprig, okay? It's a little doohickey sprig, and I'm just going to put that in the top left corner. Then I take my red and white baker's twine and I go around my fingers about 4 times, and I just squish it in the middle there, and then I tie it in the middle and it makes a little bow, and we're going to put that on baby deer's neck. I got one of those Dollar Tree candlesticks, and it was painted blue from a previous DIY, and it was pouring down rain outside, so your girl thought, well, since I'm just so smart, I'm going to paint this thing and it's going to work. Well, it didn't work, and I put like 2 coats on. It didn't look good. So eventually, after wasting 10 minutes, I took it outside under the deck, you know, where it wasn't raining on me, and I spray painted the thing, and it looked so much better. So that's a little lesson. I wasted my time, but don't waste yours. And then I put another little sprig on top of the first sprig because I felt like it needed something, you know. It just needed a little touch. I don't know. And then I put a couple of those little bitty teeny weeny pine cones that come from the Dollar Tree. Now here's my candlestick after it was spray painted, and I just went over it with some black paint, and I did it just with my little distressing brush, and it turned out looking fine in the end. Now, I just used my glue gun to put this together, but if you wanted a permanent hold, I suggest E6000 or Power Grab or something like that. But look how beautiful little baby deer turned out. See, the candlestick even came through the battle victorious. It made it, and it was saved because of that black distressing that I did on it. DIY number 2 is my very favorite. I've got one of these small rectangular serving platters that come from the Dollar Tree, and this is a very simple project. Sometimes the simpler ones are the prettier ones to me. So I'm going to take my black chalkboard paint that I get from the Dollar General, and I'm going to give it one good coat. It did not want to take this paint very well, but that was okay because it was kind of the look I was going for, where you could see through some of that silver. Then I made sure that I dried it with my little craft dryer. Now I've got this black candlestick, and I think it came from the Dollar Tree. I got it from a thrift store. It's already painted black, so I'm not going to paint it. I'm just going to glue this in the very center of the platter underneath. I ordered this set of 3 candles off of Amazon. It's the flickering kind, and I'm just going to set them on my platter. And I've got several of these little like sprigs that I got from Walmart when it was half off after Christmas, and I'm just going to place them all around the candles on the front. And on the back, I have just plain sprigs that don't have any of the hollies or anything like that, pine cone, and they're going to go on the back. I have some of the little Dollar Tree jeweled stickers. I love to use these things in my DIYs. And I'm just going to place around the tallest candle one of those stickers all the way around. Then I'm just going to place a couple of little bells and little pine cones and little extra adornments to this. And that's all I'm going to do. It's very simple, but this is gorgeous, y'all. And I'm very proud of this one. To me, this is just simple beauty. This is all it needed. It didn't need to be over the top. It's just very easy, and I just think it's really pretty. And I hope these flickering candles don't bother anybody, because now that I'm watching this, they're like flickering, and it's like
kind of mesmerizing. But I think this is pretty. Hey guys, have you subscribed to my channel yet? If not, what are you waiting for? Hit that little red subscribe button and that little red bell beside it and hit all. That way, YouTube will let you know every single time that we come out with a video. I'd love to have you in my YouTube family. DIY number 3, we're going to do the little red truck. I got this truck from the Dollar Tree. They had snowmen, Santa heads, trucks, and gingerbread men. But I thought the truck was cute, so we're going to paint it with the crimson. But first, I'm going to pull this little tree off the back because we don't need it. All we need is the truck. So I do only one full coat of the Waverly Crimson. Then after I paint it, I'm going to dry it with my craft dryer. Then I just take a Sharpie and I go around and I just outline the little truck because it gives it so much more dimension and detail. I wonder if the little red truck is going to be this popular this Christmas as it was last Christmas. I have one subscriber and the little red truck absolutely drives her nuts. So Molly, this one's for you. You know I love you, babe. I'm going to make a little bed for the back of this truck, so I need to get a couple of the regular size craft sticks, and we're going to have to cut them in half to make the slats so it looks realistic. Boy, that was a tongue twister. What is wrong with me today? I'm not even going to edit that out. That was so funny. Realistic. So I'm just going to leave it in there. But as you can see, with the scissors, these little craft sticks are very simple to cut in half. So I cut them to the size that I needed, and I cut a little piece to make the back. And I think it looks cute. It looks like a real little red truck, like one of the old trucks. So I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax, and I'm going to paint these. And basically just wipe it on and wipe it off with a baby wipe. Then I'm just going to take and glue my little craft sticks to the back of the truck. Then I outline my craft sticks just like I did the rest of the truck with my little black Sharpie to make it look more realistic. And I had bought a big bag of corks by accident off of Amazon. So I'm going to use them today by taking it and making it the center part of the wheels of the truck. I got this very small ornament that I'm holding up upside down from Walmart. It's a little reindeer and I think it's so cute. We're going to put it on the door, but first I'm just going to distress it with the Waverly Antique Wax that I had on my brush. Then I use one of my flat paint brushes and I'm going to paint the outside part of the wheel, the dark black. It's called Jet Black from Apple Barrel. Then I've got these little stickers left over from last year that I got at the Dollar General store, and I'm going to use the snowflakes to put for the center part of the wheels. How cute. And I gave them a quick little distressing too. I put that little reindeer ornament on the door, and then I put a couple of little stickers just here and there on the truck. So I've got one of those grapevine wreaths from the thrift store, and I also have some more of these little fur sprigs that I got from Amazon, and I'm going to put those little sprigs up in the top of my wreath. And this is one of my DIYs that I lost a little bit of the footage from, but the only bit of the footage that we're missing here is where I put that little bottle tree in the back of my truck. You can see it sitting there in the back of the truck, and I just put a little bit of twine around it to make it look like it's tied there. I've got 3 little star ornaments that I'm just going to glue to the sprigs. Then I'm going to take some of my Snow White Apple Barrel paint and I'm going to put it on my little distressing brush and just run it through the limbs of this tree to make it look like it's snow. Then I simply just glued my little truck down. I've got some gorgeous red and white ribbon that was sent to me by burlapfabric.com, and I will link them in the description box below. All I'm going to do is make one of those little ribbons that you make that looks like a figure, I guess you call it a figure 8. It looks like one of those cancer ribbons, you know, that you make, and all you do is just kind of squish it together in the middle and then tie it, and it makes just a simple little bow. That's my type of bow because I'm not the greatest at making bows. I need to watch some tutorials, honestly, because I like to do the easier bows, to be honest with you. And I dovetailed the ends. I've got some little leftover berry sprigs from last year, and I'm just going to take a few little pieces and put it underneath, like at the bottom part of the wreath. I'm not even going to glue it. I'm just going to put it inside the wreath, and it will hold it. And I decided I did not like that bow, y'all, because like I said, I need help. So I am going to make a messy bow because they're easy. So I took my ribbon and I made the X's, and then I went in the middle with a little bit of raffia. Then I added some of the little ticking ribbon that I had bought last year. Then I ended up taking the raffia out because I didn't think that it looked good with the bow. But I was happy with the rest of the bow, so I just left it. I glued it on there, and I put a couple little berries in the center of it. Then I just ran through the limbs with that Snow White by Apple Barrel to make it look like snow. And there she is. I think this is adorable. Moving on to number 4 is another one of my favorites. I've got this little frame that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I had already taken the back of it out, and I had already peeled the paper off of the back part. I'm going to use my black chalkboard paint that I love from the Dollar General, and when I first started painting this, I realized that it's not going to take the paint very well. So I took my little finger sander, and I roughed it up just a little bit. Not much, it was just a little 220 grit, just to rough it up enough to hold the paint. Then it worked like a charm, and I gave it a real good little wishy-washy coat. And when I say wishy-washy for you new guys, it just means like it's not a full coat. It's just kind of, see how I'm doing this white? I want some of that brown to show through, and I call that a wishy-washy coat. Guys, I have these adorable reindeer that I got from Hobby Lobby last year, but they've got a plasticky look to them, so we're just going to give them one good coat of the Apple Barrel Snow White. These reindeer are absolutely adorable, and I want you to see the difference. The one on your left is the one that is painted. The one on the right is not painted, and it has more of a plasticky look to it. The paint makes all the difference if you have something that looks kind of cheapy and plasticky. So I just put the back in my frame, and I'm going to set my two little deer on the top of it. I'm going to use those jewel border stickers that come from the Dollar Tree, but look at this cute little silver tree that I'm going to use. These jeweled stickers come off in one long strand, which I love, and I'm just going to go all the way around the sides of this. Just look how adorable this is. So I'm going to set my little silver tree and my reindeers back down, and I'm also going to put one of those little jeweled stickers in the middle of the star on the tree. I had these gorgeous red flower stems. I don't know what they're called, but they were from the Dollar General, and they were from last year. And I'm just going to lay down just a little bit of rogue greenery that I have, and a few of these little sprigs. They had like snow on them. They were so precious, and they came from Christmas time last year. So I'm just going to lay these down all around my reindeer, and that's all I did, and it turned out gorgeous. That's what I was saying. Sometimes the things that are the simpler things are the prettier. This one is definitely one of my favorites also. Number 5 is going to be this milk bottle that I had got at a thrift store, of course. And I'd already painted it white from a previous DIY, so it just needed a little bit of touch up. And all I did was just kind of touch it up here and there where it needed it with my Snow White apple barrel. We're going to make this look like it's got the enamel look, and so I just kind of went around just different high points on this bottle and put some of the black, and I made little smudges with my finger. I also am going to go around the very top lip and the bottom lip of the bottle. I got some roses that I got off of Amazon, and I'm just going to leave these in the bunch. I usually cut each one off the stem, but I wanted a shorter look, if that makes any sense. So I put them all together, stuck them down in there with a couple of those sprigs from Walmart. And I added some little fairy lights that I got from the Dollar Tree last Christmas, and they're little stars. They are so adorable. I'm going to make a bow with this beautiful bow. Look how pretty this ribbon is. It's got the little red truck on it. And we're going to do that figure 8 design that I was telling you about, where you just do the little, it looks like a cancer bow to me. I don't know any other way to describe it. And you crunch it in the middle and you tie her up, and it makes a perfect little bow. So I cut my little dovetails out, and I have one of those little ornaments that came in the package from Walmart, and it's one of those tiny little ornaments that are so cute, and I'm going to put that right in the middle underneath the bow. And here's another simple but gorgeous DIY. I love this one. I just love that little merry and bright ornament, and the stars just top it off. I think this is adorable. DIY number 6 is one that I actually saw on Pinterest. I've got one of my 11 by 17 canvas frames, which I'm going to open up, and I'm going to cut on the outside part of the staples, and I'm going to pull that canvas off. I absolutely love the reverse canvas method. This thing tried to give me a fight. It didn't want to give up those staples, but when it finally did, I took the canvas and I'm going to give it a good coat of my black chalkboard paint. Now, this paint I get from the Dollar General store, and it's my absolute favorite black paint only because it's so matte, and I just think it's really pretty. It goes a long way too. Then for the frame, I'm going to paint it with my antique Waverly wax and wipe it off with a baby wipe. Then I just laid the canvas back down and glued it to the frame. I had a little bit of excess, which I just cut off with the scissors. I took my white nautical rope that comes from the Dollar Tree, and I made the shape of a Christmas tree. Now, the one I saw on Pinterest used the brown jute rope, but I thought that the white would look really cool. And all I did was just glue down the sides of it going up so that it would be secure. When I got to the top, I just kind of curled it around, or like wound it around, and finished it off. I had to put my own spin on it, so I took some of my Totally Dazzled jewels, and that's what I'm going to use for the little embellishments on the Christmas tree. Ooh, I think it turned out so cute. And I bought a little package from the Dollar General that had 12 little bows in it, and that's what I'm going to put on the top there. And I just glued it down, and I dovetailed my ends. I'm going to paint one of those corks with my Waverly Antique Wax, and that's going to be the stem, and I put a little berry in the middle of my bow. And this is it. Is this not the cutest little tree? My little Totally Dazzled embellishments are the perfect ending to any DIY. They can just make anything pop. Like you can stick it on the end of a DIY and it just makes everything so much cuter. I'm going to leave a link for those in the description box below, and they're also very inexpensive. I have a ton of those. We are cruising right into number 7. I have 2 of these little beware signs that came from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to flip them over, and I'm going to put a couple of those huge craft sticks on them to keep them, to make it stay together. I gave it a good coat of the Waverly's color called Steel, which is a medium gray color. I took one of the acrylic markers from Walmart called Painters, and I'm going to put this underneath my mat, and so that way I can draw straight lines and make like shiplap lines. Then I go over those lines with a pencil and smudge them out with my finger. Then I'm going to paint all my snowman with the Snow White color from Apple Barrel, and this is one of the DIYs where I lost a decent amount of footage, but I can explain to you what happened, and it's not going to be a big deal. I just didn't want to lose the whole DIY over that one little piece of missing footage. Now, 2 of my DIYs I totally redid for you guys so you could see what I was doing. But on this one, I just couldn't. I took the orange acrylic marker from Arteza and I got their noses. The piece that was missing was little fabric pieces that I laid on them for their scarf and the top of their hat. And I just put Mod Podge on it and cut it out. And I'm doing the same thing right here. I'm tracing the rim of their hat with one of those rags that you wash a car with from the Dollar Tree. And that's going to be the little fluffy rim of their hat there. The fabric part of the scarf and the hat is actually little bags that came from the Dollar General at Christmas time. I hope that that's not so confusing, but that's the only part here that was lost, is me making their scarves and their hats out of the fabric. I also used that car cloth to make the little ball of their hat. I just cut a circle out. And I took some buttons that I got from that little jar that comes from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just kind of sticking them on their little scarves. And I take 4 of my half beads, and very quickly I'm just painting them and swirling them around in the dryer like I do. Then I'm going to take some jute twine from Walmart, the thicker kind, and go around both sides of the picture probably about 4 times just to give it that little finishing touch. And I just glue it down in the back and I burn off all the little hairs. Then I'm going to take the snowman, I'm going to glue them down to the front. And that's all she wrote, guys. I hope you like the little snowman. Oh, I forgot. I did write "Let It Snow" on there, and it didn't show that part, so obviously I lost that too. All I did was take a Sharpie, because I'm trying to work on my lettering a little bit, which this don't look perfect by any means, and I'm not even extremely happy with it, but I've got to practice. My handwriting's not messy by any means, but it doesn't look the way that I want it to when I do hand lettering, if that makes sense. And I also found 2 little wooden snowflakes, which are up at the top of the picture. I found those. They're from Dollar Tree, and I just painted those white and stuck them on there. DIY number 8. You guys know I love my decoupage, and this project will be no different. I am tearing off the ply because it's a 2-ply, and it's the picture of the little red truck. Yay, Molly! And I have one of the little candles, and it doesn't matter if it's a real candle or a fake candle. You can do it on either one. This project is so simple. I measured it out, cut it, put my Mod Podge down, and then I very gracefully and carefully put this napkin down. I even was able to pick up the napkin right there and straighten it out a little bit, but I think it's better when you use saran wrap because your fingers will start to stick to that Mod Podge and it can pull that napkin back up. So don't do like I do. The only reason why I ventured out and did it is because I do decoupage a lot and I kind of know my limits, okay? But just be careful. I put another coat of Mod Podge on the top when it had completely dried. And look how beautiful this is in the dark. It's a very easy project and it makes a beautiful statement. The Mod Podge wasn't even dry yet right here where I'm showing you. I think these are so pretty. And you can even give these as Christmas presents. Think outside the box, guys, on those Christmas presents. We are zooming, y'all. We're going into number 9. This is going to be quick also. This is one of the ones that I had lost the footage, so I had to take it apart and redo it. I have 2 of the little $1 Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree, and what you're going to do is take one tree and pull the branches all the way over to one side. You can literally run your hand down that side. Do it to each tree because you're going to put them together. But I fluff my branches downward because it looks more like a real tree. And I take these little garlands that come like 6 in a pack, and they're just straight garlands, and I use those to help tie it together. Also, you can fill that in if you want to. I had some stickers left over from the Dollar General from last year, and it says Christmas tree, and it has the little red truck on it. Then I stuffed some fabric and some bags down inside my little pot, and it's one of those pots from the Dollar Tree. And I'm using those little Dollar Tree ornaments. That is the red truck. Hey, once again, the red truck. And I put one of my little bows on the top that come from the Dollar General in the package of 12. And I make a quick little run through with my white distressing brush, and I'm going to run over those bristles to make it look like it's snowy. And that's all. Very simple. I know that was quick, but like I said, this is one of the ones that I had to take it apart and put it back together. So it was really fast because it was kind of already finished. Then I found some little, I guess you could call it tinsel. It's this little rope in the middle that has like Santa Claus and snowmen, little ornaments hanging off of it. It looks like a little tiny garland. And I thought it was cute, so I added it on there. And I added some more trucks to the back. And I really at Christmas time encourage you guys, if you make a lot of DIYs, to grab some of these bows from the Dollar General. They're 12 for $1 or 10 for $1, and you can pop them on the top of any of your DIYs, and it's a ready-made bow, especially for those of you that are like me that have bow issues and like don't make the most perfect bows. We can use those and put them together. So I think this turned out cute. Y'all, my heart is hurting because we're almost at DIY number 10, and I thought that this was going to be so long and drawn out, but we are moving. Now, DIY number 10 is one that I had to take apart and put together again. Do you know those things that you tie the balloons together with at Dollar Tree? Those things. This right here. You take one of those and you take off all of the frills, those stars and those little sticky things that's on it. You take off absolutely everything to where there's nothing there, but it's a big old chunk of like cement and wire. That's all you want. It's just your cement and your wire. Now, this is a very simple one. I made these for my daughter's teachers. They're easy, and you're given 2 ornaments at the same time that you're given a gift. Okay, what you do is you find a beautiful ornament. I picked this ornament from Dollar Tree with the tree on it. I think it's beautiful for Dollar Tree, y'all. What do you think? So what you do is you take your little ornament and you just so attach it to that little part up at the top there, like make it hang off of it. It's hanging from that, you know, the little steel bar there. I hope I'm making sense. And you just glue it down. It may be easier just to watch what I'm doing, y'all. Now here's our Christmas card from last year. So you're going to be giving the teacher a Christmas card and 2 ornaments. Up at the top, you're going to place your card, and you're literally going to just kind of clamp it together because you have curled that end down to where you can clamp it. Now our card was really tall and it made it kind of difficult. This is the ornament that I've got. It's so cute. They came in a pack of 4 at Walmart. You can find all kinds of small ornaments at Walmart like this. And you're going to glue that on the part that you curled down just to kind of hide any ugliness. And so the next step is you're just going to hold that together. You're going to put your card back in there, and then you're going to clamp it closed. And that's pretty much all you do. You can further embellish it if you want to, but I think this is enough and it's great. Look how pretty this turned out. See, it's got the little reindeer in the front, and it probably makes a little bit better sense now that you can see it. See, the ornament is glued on that little hard part at the bottom, like it's like a chunk of cement or something. So it's glued on there. And you also have that ornament hanging where you twirled that wire around at the top. Then you just put your family's photo in there and clamp it together. And that's basically all you do, and I think it turns out really pretty. The teachers absolutely love these, and they're a good cheap idea. I got this idea from Fabbed Hacks, if you ever watch her channel. I will link her down below. She is very talented in any kind of DIY you can imagine. The next one was part of one of the ones that was lost in the footage, and I just added it in. It's not even really a DIY. I wouldn't call it a DIY, but I bought this little house from the Dollar General last year after Christmas, and I just painted it with the Waverly antique wax and wiped off the excess. I drew the roof on, and that was basically it. That's why I wouldn't call it a DIY, but I added it in there so you could see it. And then this one, the last one, believe it or not, it is a reverse canvas. Can you believe that I would do something like that? You know, it's one of my favorite things. So this is a picture that actually came from the Dollar Tree. I reversed it, put it on the back side, put one of those bows on there, and then I found one of these snowflakes that comes from the Dollar Tree. I painted it and put it on the bottom. I hate that we're here at the end of the video, but I'm very happy that I was able to recover from losing all those DIYs. I love you guys so much. Thank you for staying. And now for some footage of my family. Way to go, Kason! Way to go, dude! Sabby swims too, and he floats. Look at that baby. He say, I'm a swimming professional amongst my many talents. He's still swimming even though she's got him out of the water. And she'll hold him and he floats. Look at his tail. It's so funny that he does that with his tail. Hilarious. He's always done that since he was a puppy. When he would swim, he would hold his tail out. And he's floating right now. And Kason is about to ride the waves. Good boy, Sabby. Yeah, man. Way to go. Way to go, dude. Yay. He says, let me get in the sun, dude. I gotta pee. Don't you dare pee on that. Way to go, Sab. When Sabby uses the bathroom, apparently it is a free-for-all, and the girls want to come and see. Hey, babies. They heard me talking. Did you hear me talking? They're my girls, all in a row. And a pug. Who could want anything more? Oh, wait. But there's a beautiful grandson swimming in the swimming pool. Hey, Kaysen, how old are you? 3.
Help me out.
Okay, come on. And here's a few pictures from my Christmas in July photo shoot with Sabby and Loretta. Doesn't she just look so sophisticated in that scarf? And even Loretta was not complaining because she knows she looked good, y'all. Am I crazy because I sing to my chickens? Well, maybe a little, but I love them. And just look at that look of pure love on Sabby's face as he looks at me. Loretta started complaining that she needed a raise. Hey, I had so much fun doing these DIYs, but I'm going to tell y'all right now, this stuff is going back in the tote till later. I love y'all. Bye.